Welcome to NIACC Rewind. I'm Chris Frenz. Let's take a look back at the past week in NIACC athletics. The number 7 NIACC wrestling team dropped the 24-18 decision to Iowa Central in a home dual meet on Friday. The Trojans returned to action Thursday at Iowa Lakes, and they wrestle in the North Central District meet in Spencer on February 16th. The NIACC men's and women's track and field teams competed at the Minnesota State Open on Saturday. The NIACC women set 4 school records, and the NIACC men set 2 school marks. The teams returned to action on Saturday at Grinnell. The NIACC men's basketball team split a pair of contests this past weekend. The Trojans dropped a 92-68 decision to DMACC and then topped Wartburg College JV 84-63. And the number 2 NIACC women improved to 20-2 overall and 9-0 in the ICCAC with a 99-61 win over DMACC on Saturday. Both basketball teams will play at Kirkwood on Wednesday. We'll be right back to visit with Kelli Terrell, our head women's basketball coach, after a few wrestling highlights. Welcome back to NIACC Rewind. We're joined now by Kelli Terrell, the head women's basketball coach. And Kelli, what a phenomenal season we got going here. And again, we're still working towards that regional tournament time. But boy, what a season! 20-2, 9-0, ranked number 2 in the nation right now. You can't get much better than that, can it?
I mean, there's a little leeway for it to be a little better, but we're really excited where we are right now. The girls are playing very hard, coming off wins against Iowa Central and DMACC. Iowa Central, who was right up there at the top of the conference with us, with Kirkwood, and then a road win at DMACC is always something to be excited about. So we're really happy with the way that they're playing right now. We're playing with a lot of energy, a lot of focus, and we're back to playing our fast game of basketball, which is when we do best. So.
Let's talk about the Iowa Central game, I guess, first before we get into the DMACC game. You built a nice lead. They kind of came back, but you knew they were going to make another run at you, I guess, in that game, I would imagine. They don't ever go away. Yeah. But, boy, you did a nice job of hanging on to that win, and then, of course, really taking care of DMACC.
Yeah, the girls, with Iowa Central, our sophomores hadn't beat them yet, so that's the one team they really wanted to beat. They want to beat every team in conference, but that's the one conference team that they hadn't beat yet, since they've been here as freshmen. So they were really excited for that game. And Iowa Central is a great team. We knew that, we couldn't be satisfied even when we were up 20 points because runs are going to happen. But the really nice thing is that we just stayed focused and kept doing our thing and kept knocking down big shots, and we were able to close out the game.
Talk about the DMACC game. Talk about the DMACC game then too, because that was just beginning to end. You guys dominated that game.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a rough start the first few minutes, but after that we were clicking. We were pushing the ball. We were finding the open people. We were making the extra pass, and most importantly, we were knocking down our shots. So everything that we work on very hard was clicking in that game. And like I said, it's a road win, it's a conference win, so we're pretty excited about that one too.
Talk about the different players on your team here now, too. I mean, Chelsea Jaycox is just a phenomenal player to watch. I love watching her play. She's always 100%, it seems like, all the time. And she's also kind of that cheerleader on the team, it seems like, too, picking everybody else up. But Courtney Rush kind of struggled for about a week and a half or so. But, boy, she picked it back up here this weekend. Latika's been tremendous all year long, too. I mean, I hate to pick out just a few, I guess, because they've all looked very, very good. But your team is really playing as a team. It's not individuals.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that that's when we play our best basketball, and it's fun when we win, and our girls get more excited, and we keep the momentum rolling when we're doing well. But yeah, individually, they don't care who gets the glory. They all are doing really well with their own strengths, and finding the people who are on fire, or finding the open person, or like I said, making the extra pass. They're all playing together. They're playing within themselves, yet letting their teammates do what they do best as well. And at this point of the year, it's nice to see it all coming together.
What about injuries?
Together.
What about injuries, too? You've got a few there, but nothing, well, I guess there's a couple of them that are a little major, but, I mean, you've still got pretty much the core intact here, but you have had a few injuries.
Yep, our most recent injuries are Alyssa Meyer. She collided heads on Saturday, and she did come away with a concussion and broken nose from that. So, it's not something that she has to have surgery for. So we're going to let the concussion, rest for her for at least a week and then reevaluate after that. Unfortunately, she'll have to wear a nice mask on her face. But Alyssa goes so hard, and she's been banged up pretty much all year long. But she does everything she's supposed to do to get back on the floor. And, we will miss her with that defensive presence. And she plays bigger than she is, too, and she's always hustling. So we'll miss her on Wednesday and Saturday. And then Ashley Onaka, who was a starter for us all year, she's been out for almost a month now with possible meniscus. So we're still waiting to hear the results of that, and then we'll go from there with her.
All right, let's talk about the Kirkwood game. Kirkwood's coming up here on Wednesday. Of course, you got Kirkwood and then Marshalltown. But let's talk about Kirkwood first. Big game. Obviously, you guys knocked them off the first time around in front of a huge crowd here. I would imagine there's going to be a big crowd down in Cedar Rapids on Wednesday night, too. What do you expect?
I expect our girls to step up in big game like they have been all year long. We do have to get on the bus and go down there, but I think they're starting to really buy into the fact that it doesn't matter if we're home or away, we have to play our game. And it's a good time to do that. We have to play a lot of teams on the road coming up. So they'll be ready to go. They actually like playing in that gym for whatever reason. And they're feeling pretty good about the game. So, we talked about Kirkwood a lot yesterday in practice. We'll do it again today and just get them ready. go.
And obviously, I mean, Kirkwood and us, number 2, we're number 2, they're number 3, right? I mean, that's kind of the 2 major teams in the conference. But then again, you sit there and look at the Iowa Central could come and get somebody, DMACC could come and get somebody. You know, your league is still very, very balanced. I mean, probably it's a little top heavy this year, but still, overall, it's a very good balanced team or conference.
Yep, and that's kind of what we're looking at right now. You know, DMACC was sitting 5th in the conference, and we were able to beat them. We beat Iowa Central, who was 2nd in the conference. Kirkwood tomorrow, and then Marshalltown, who's 4th in the conference on Saturday. So we have some big games coming up, and Kirkwood will be hungry. They just lost to Iowa Central on Saturday to give us a little more of a cushion. But we don't want to look at it as being able to relax. We want to look at it as being in control of what's going on for the rest of our year.
Well, and that shows you how good that Iowa Central team is, because I mean Kirkwood's a solid ball club. So how does that play out? Now you got what, 5, 6 games, 7 games left in the season or so. What's it look like for regionals?
Like I said, we're in control of what happens. If we win out, then we finish first and we get that first seed. So that's our goal. Obviously, it's been our goal all year long to finish first in our region, and to go in with that momentum into the regional tournament. And then it's going to be interesting how it shakes out. But as long as we keep playing our game, I really like the possibility of us finishing in that top spot.
Does the regional tournament for the women, is it like the men where it goes to the host or the highest seeded team?
No, first round is highest seed. So those who finish in top 4 get to play on their home floor the first round, and then it goes to a Final Four site, which is Iowa Central this year.
Okay.
So we're going to have to beat them a couple times on their home floor, and maybe beat Kirkwood or Marshalltown, whoever it is, on their home floor. But it's just another part of the whole deal. We don't get to play nationals on our home floor, so we might as well get used to that.
I like that format. That's a good format, because you're getting rewarded for being number 1, 2, or 3, or 4, I guess, in the conference. But you're also bringing them all together, and that should be a lot of fun too. Anything surprised you from this year, either good or bad, from your team?
I think it's just really great how our team is meshing right now with their chemistry. No one's being selfish, and it's not that I'm surprised by that, but it's that I'm just really proud of how they're coming together. We haven't had any discipline issues, we haven't had any grade issues. Everyone was eligible after the first semester, and they're just really prideful of NIACC and really prideful of their team. And that just makes me as a coach be pretty proud of them too.
And you can see it on the court. I mean, as we're sitting in the stands, you can definitely see that. And that goes all the way, not even in women's basketball, then it shuffles off into the men's basketball team, the wrestling team, all the rest of us out here too at NIACC. I mean, everybody's excited about what's happening.
Yeah, and just to have the community support and the college support of both our men's and women's teams right now. And I know wrestling had a good turnout, and just to have everybody being supportive right now of what's going on, and then hopefully that'll carry into the spring sports too.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Well, good luck on Wednesday, and of course Sunday with Marshalltown. Didn't talk about, I guess, let's talk about Marshalltown a little bit. What do they have?
They have Steve Garber, who's their new coach this year, who took Illinois Central to nationals a few times. I don't know the numbers on it, but pretty prestigious coach in that area. And he hasn't playing really well for him. I'm not sure how many of those kids were actually recruited by him, but they're playing well. They have a couple threats down there and some sophomores who have experience from the conference last year. So I think they're just going to be stronger the second time around once those new kids really understand what the conference is like. And it'll be a tough game on Saturday.
Yeah, and you guys obviously being where you're at right now, you got the target on your back every game you go into.
Exactly. So I think the girls, they know that.
Yeah.
We're 22 games in. I would hope they'd know it by now, but they've really seen it. They've really felt it. And I think it just makes them play harder.
Well, they're responding well. Good luck Wednesday night and Saturday, and congratulations on the season so far.
Thanks.
You bet. All right, that is Kelli Terrell, our head women's basketball coach.